in Reading that we've collectively added up under Democratic and Republican administrations alike. We owe that amount of money. Now, Donald Trump gets lambasted for saying, you know what, we can renegotiate a lot of this debt. He might, in fact, be right. But the fact of the matter is, anyone who even touches it, remember Paul Ryan, which is trying to slow the growth of Medicare? Well, that was tantamount to shoving Granny off a cliff. Larry Winget says, we better wake up to this. The best-selling author with so many great books, including Grow a Pair, my personal favorite, says if we don't claim responsibility and take hold of this, it's going to kill us all. Larry, we don't, though. And we rip candidates of any sort who come up with a solution. They'll laugh at the solution. They'll dismiss the solution. So the idea being to anyone else who comes up with an idea to deal with it, don't even try, right?
Well, you're exactly right. And, you know, a lot of new people are talking about this. We've got Kissinger and Madeleine Albright and former secretaries of defense and joint chiefs of staff saying if we don't get the debt under control, that we're all going to be at risk for our national security. And I think we need to start paying attention because, frankly, this makes me mad. It ought to make you mad. It ought to make all Americans mad that the debt in our economy is so out of control that now our families are at risk because of our national security being at risk because our money's a mess.
And what they're saying, especially these security guys and defense guys, Secretary of States or Secretaries of State, is that it leaves us vulnerable. We owe our enemies, essentially, this money. And in China's case, they've got us by the you-know-what. So the fear seems to be if we don't get this problem under control, it will control us. Our enemies will control us. How realistic a threat is that?
Well, I don't know how realistic the threat really is to us from a national security basis, but I know that these are smart folks saying we ought to pay attention to this. And what makes me really mad is that some of the issues that they're bringing up have been around for a good long while.
Absolutely.
We need to fix our broken tax system. We need to educate our people. The cost of health care is out of control. We need to help businesses hire more people and put them back to work.
But anytime we do, we just have rallies yesterday in Chicago, more taxes, more taxes. No one ever finds a creative way. In Chicago, I guess they're talking about creative ways to tax trades. Fine. It's creative. It's very ingenious. But I never see half the acumen devoted to just curtailing the spending in the first place, or first assessing what we're spending our money on before you ask for more money. No, we just pile on, pile on, pile on. I don't know how sustainable that is.
Well, it's not sustainable. It wouldn't be sustainable in a family if you just kept spending money and didn't have any way to increase your income. And we don't have any way to increase our income right now except through taxes. And that's why nobody talks about cutting back on spending or the debt, but we do talk about ways to increase the country's income through more taxes. We ought to be mad at our politicians for making all of these things just a talking point. And talking points don't reduce the debt. Talking points don't do anything about our spending being out of control. They don't reduce entitlements or fix, any of the other things that are really an issue. This just, all of those people playing politics. My side is right, your side is wrong. We need these guys to take action.
You're right. You're right about that. Larry, it's always a pleasure, and you always wake us up. And as anyone knows...
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. As anyone watches this show knows, and Larry just echoed it, I'm not red or blue with this stuff. I'm green. I'm a nerd. It's about money. And you know, we have gotten the most controversy when we've talked about slowing the growth